Yeah, good morning, all. We'll start our session. Today's session, once again, we are just checking out error detection and correction itself. In that, we are taking the example, or we are taking one more category by the name called as cyclic codes. Under the cyclic codes, we have CRC. CRC refers to cyclic redundancy check. Okay, so what we are just going to do here is we'll be just previous slide. Yeah, this gives you a brief idea about CRC encoder and decoder. What was the thing that is happening with respect to your encoder was you are taking a data word, and here we are just considering the standard example where the code word will be of 7-bit length and the data word will be of 4-bit length. So 3-bit redundant bits I'll be adding it. That will be making it as an augmented code. Augmented data word, in that the redundancy bit will always be set as 0. So that is what they are saying it. Once it is sent to the generator, then you will be getting the actual redundant words. If you just attach this along with the data word, then code word will be formed. Once this is done, so the next one is you need to send it in an unreliable fashion. And one more thing we just left out here is divisor. What is this divisor? It is a key which should be known and which should be common among your sender as well as receiver. So what is this divisor will be doing? It is the key where your redundant words will be added with respect to your sender part in the encoder technique, whereas in the decoder technique, you are eliminating the redundant bits that has been attached in the code word with respect to your receiver end, that is in the decoder part. So this is how it will be working with respect to your divisor. So it should be of 4-bit length, the standard one. So we cannot change it. Okay. So with respect to that, we'll just take an example, and we took this example in the last class also. Unfortunately, we couldn't complete it because of the lack of time that we had. Okay. So today we'll just continue with the same thing. We'll try to analyze what is this. This is mathematical way of proving it. Okay. So you need to know the data word. The data word will be 1001. That's what they have given it. And if you want to make it as augmented code, augmented data word, your augmented data word is nothing but in between word. So how what it will be 1001. You're adding 3 bits, right? 3 redundant bits. 3 redundant bits will always be going with 0 first time. Next thing is you need to just generate the code word. How to generate the code word? Using the key. Key here is nothing but your divisor. Key or divisor will say it. What is this divisor is all about? It is a 4-bit length. What they have given is 1011. This is of a standard one. Once again, I'm reminding you. So 1011 should be right. So 1011. What is the augmented code? 1001,000. Just leave some space. Now, with respect to this, if you want to divide it, so first 4 bits. 4 bits is that. So with respect to that, only 4 bits you can just take it at a time. So with respect to that, the last bit is 1. So that means you need to encounter this, or the same value should be represented. So with respect to that, what will be the value that you will be getting it once you start dividing it? 1 followed by 0 followed by 1 followed by 1. This is the one that you will be getting it at last. Okay. So here you are not going to add or subtract. Instead of it, what you will be doing, you will be just going with the XORing both the bits that you are having it here. So what will be the value? For the first bit, most significant bit, 1 1 0, 0 0 0, 0 1 is there 1, and the last bit is 0. And in order to make it as 4 bit, you'll be just encountering the first particular augmented code that has been added. The R3 value has been taken it over here. Now, with respect to this, so 0 is the last particular thing. 0 means that is, it is not of 4-bit length. So because of it, what we'll be doing is, just take the help of 0. With respect to that, everything will be 0. So same thing, we're just taking it. What happens if you are XORing these two bits? Then you'll be getting the answer as 0 1 followed by 0 followed by 0 followed by 0. Now this bit will be taken into consideration. Now it will be of 4 bit, so this one I'll be leaving it. Okay, so with respect to this, now it is of 4 bit, so 4 bit length means I need to have all the members inside it, so it will be 1. So 1 times means it will be 1 followed by 0 followed by 1 followed by 1. So now if you just XOR this, you apply the XOR operation for this, what will be the value that you will be getting it at last? So this will be 0 first, most significant bit will be 0 always, and then 0 comes here, it will be 1 followed by 1. Yes, one more bit is there, so you need to just record that bit once again. Zeros, one, it starts from 0 means you need to multiply it with 0 only. So there is no other choice for us, right? So with respect to this now, 0 0 0 0. Now what is the value that you are getting it? Yeah, what is the value that you are getting it at last? See here, it will be nothing but 0 followed by 1 followed by 1 followed by 0. How many redundant bits you need to add it? 3 bits. So 3 bits you just take it. So this will be nothing but my reminder. Reminder value is reminder is 3-bit length. So 1 1 0 you need to just go. Now you add this reminder with respect to the data word that you have. Instead of augmented core data word that you have just taken care, right? So with respect to that 0 0 0 you have added it. Instead of that you make it as 1 1 0. Now your complete augmented code, it will be somewhat like this: 1 0 0 1 followed by 1 1 0. Now we call this is nothing but this is the code. So now we need to transmit this to the other end. So this is my code word that will need to be transmitted on the other side. So this is related to your encoding technique. The encoder part is there, right? That one I'm talking about. Whereas next one is your decoding. So how it will be decoded? What is the checker will be doing? That's what the answer which we need to find out now. So we have got the code word. So code word will be there is no augmented data word here. So it is a code word itself. So code word will be nothing but 1 0 0 1 1 1 0. Fine. Now the divisor is one and the same because the key or the divisor is one and the same. That's what we just got to know with respect to the diagram that we had. So divisor, it will be one and the same. So divisor is 1 0 1 1. This should be divided now. Which one should be divided? The code word should be divided using the divisor. How to do it? Same procedure, whatever we have just seen it over here, same thing is working here also. So with respect to this, what we'll do is just try to write down 1011 first, followed by what will be the code word that we'll be having it. One zero zero one 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 zero. Just leave some space so that it's easy for us to understand where it will be moving, what are all the bits that we will have. First, we need to consider 4 bits of divisor is there. So first 4 bits you need to just consider it. So with respect to that, since 1 is available at the most significant bit, so it is of 4-bit length. So you can just multiply this one with respect to your divisor with respect to your 1. The quotient will be first particular bit will be 1. With respect to that, 1 followed by 0 followed by 1 followed by 1 will be there. Okay. So now with respect to this, if you are XORing, then what will be the resultant? That's what we need to just look into it. So the most significant bit will be 0 because it is yes. The next bit is also 0 because 0 0 is 0. 0 1 is there, so I need to replace it 1. Then the next bit, there is the least significant bit that we are taking it is always 1 1 is nothing but 0. So 0 1 0 will be there. So I'll just borrow the next particular bit that is available over there. So 0 1 0 1 will be the uh, bit that I need to just divide it now. So with respect to this, this is of 3-bit length. So 3 bits means I need to just say that it should be multiplied by 0 because the least significant, sorry, the most significant bit should be 0 over there. So because of it, we need to just 0, 0, 0, 0. So then what will be the value that you will be getting it here? So it is nothing but the most significant bit is 0, 0, 0, 0 is the next one. Next to that particular bit is 1, 0 is there. So because of it, 1 will be there. So next bit is 0, 0, 0 will be coming. Next bit is 1, 0 is there. So just go with saying that it is 1. So you need to just take one more bit from the just rewrite this. 1 followed by 0 followed by 1 will be there. Of course, we need to just take that particular 1 also to this particular bit. Now, with respect to this, now it becomes 4-bit. So, with respect to this, if you are talking about, then it will be what 1 need to be taken care. 1 times of this value will be 1 followed by 0 followed by 1 followed by 1. So, if you just apply the XOR operation with respect to this, it becomes 0 0 0 0. So why 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 1 0? Like that, it will be just going to take care. Last bit is 0. So since all zeros are there, there is no other option. You need to consider, you need to multiply this divisor with the 0 itself. whatever the value comes, it will be nothing but 0, 0, 0, 0. But we'll be just considering last 3 bits. We'll just consider this. So with respect to this, we'll just say 0, 0, 0, right? So what is the zeros is all about? This is what we will be calling it as syndromes. So with respect to your syndromes, we'll just consider this. S2, this is S1, followed by the next bit is S0. So if it is 0, 0, 0, then accept that and consider the 0, 0, 0 over here. So that means the first 4 bits, whatever is that, that will be the data word. So this data word will be extracted and it will be kept, and it will be transmitted to the, or it will be just taken care in the receiver side. If suppose any particular bit, if you are changing it, means then your syndrome will not be 0. So if it is apart from any value other than 0 comes, means then it will be discarded. Understood? So this is how your entire division with respect to your bit by bit operation will be working. See here. Same thing. They have just corrupted one particular data bit. Okay, we'll just, yeah. They have just corrupted this bit and they have just sent it to the other end. Divisor is one and the same thing will repeat it, but the syndrome, you just check it out. The last 3 bits, it is changed. If it is 0, 0, 0, S0 is 0, S1 is 0, S2 is 0, then it will be accepted. If there is any other particular term apart from 0, if you are just getting it means, then you need to discard it. There is no other option, you need to discard it. So that is how it will be working with respect to your CRC. This is at the receiver end. The first one was at the sender end. This is sender end. This is at the receiver end. This is with no error. This is with error. That's it. You need to, if there is any one particular bit that has been changed, means then entire scenario will be changing. So with respect to that, what is the next step, sir? Okay, we have detected this error. Can't we correct it? No, there is no correction part here. If you are detecting any error, see, your CRC is used for detecting. So it is best used and it will be used for detecting one error or odd number of errors or 2-bit errors. That's it, nothing else. So it is very good for it. And so you can detect it, you cannot correct it. So if you want to correct it means, or if you want to change the particular code, whatever has been sent means, you need to send a particular request once again to the sender saying that that data word is not received properly. So you need to resend it, or else the sender will automatically, once the acknowledgement is not received at that particular point of time, he will understand that during the stipulated amount of time, if the acknowledgement is not received, then there is some problem in it. I'll just retransmit it accordingly. So this is how it will be working with respect to your CRC. CRC is best suited for your detection, not for correction. For your correction, go for Hamming code. Yesterday we discussed, right? So go for Hamming code. So that is the best reliable thing that we can just go with correcting the database. Whereas detecting, CRC is the best one. So when compared to your parity checker also, CRC plays a vital role, because in the parity, what happens? The linear block of code, whatever you are just assuming it, so it will be working fine with respect to odd number of errors that will be occurring in the entire particular data word. If even number of error comes, then it will be of no use. But still, but your CRC, it can detect your 2-bit error as well as 1-bit error, followed by number of occurrences of error bit that is happening in the odd bit will be easily detected. So that's why better to go with the CRC. Okay. So and manually also you can calculate. That's the advantage, add-on advantage that you are having. See here, there is one more particular thing that is available here. So data is 1010, but the divisor is 10111 is that. So how many bits are that? It is not 4-bit. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bits of length that is having. So with respect to this, your particular augmented code, whatever you are adding it, so number of zeros should be 4. So with respect to the divisor, it will be changing. So that's how it will be just working out. You need to just take care about this. Okay, so be prepared, but still we are using 7C4. What is that 7C4? Is nothing but instead of that C of 7 comma 4, 7 bit of code word with respect to that 4 bit of data word. So that is how it will be just taken care. This is the hardware design of your CRC checker. What it will be doing, it will be using the shift resistor. Shift resistor means you are shifting it towards where? You're shifting it towards the left side of your particular thing. So it's a left shift operator that you are just going to deal with it. So each time, whatever the bit that you will be transmitting it, once it reaches to the other end, it should be augmented. It should be, you need to just perform the XOR operation with respect to the previously available data. So whatever the data that is available, that should be XORed with respect to the previously available data. So according to that, it will be just shifting it, and XOR operation should be applied and then shifted. Once again, it will be doing. So this process will be continued until you reach the entire particular bits will be shifted all at a time. So this is cyclic redundancy bit is all about it. Understanding? So this is for your encoder and this is for your decoder. Same procedure. There is no change in it. That was whatever we just divided and XOR operation that we just operate that just we perform. No, so that is with respect to your software related. So this is hardware related. So your CRC gives a better result for your hardware implemented code when compared to your software related code that you will be writing. Understanding it? So with respect to your hardware design, it plays a vital role and gives the best possible result for detecting the errors. Understanding it? So that is the main advantage of using your CRC. The divisor in a cyclic code is normally called the generator polynomial or simply the generator. Whatever the divisor that we are having it, no. So that is called as generator or generator polynomial. Now polynomial, whenever we just talk about it, so it is a different representation, right? So there will be some unknown terms available. With respect to that unknown terms, will be just having some power to the power of some particular value with respect to the place that it is having. Similarly, if you are representing any particular data word, whatever the binary representation that you have, if you want to represent it in a polynomial, then there is a small rule that you need to just look into it. See here, best example that has been given. We have a data or we have a binary data which is of 7-bit length. So 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. So identify the places first. From the least significant bit will always be starting, so it will be taking the place as 0. Next bit will next least significant bit will be 1. Similarly, it goes on 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by 6 because 7-bit is there. It starts from 0, so that's why 6 will be the last bit. Now, polynomial always deals with unknown terms, right? So the unknown same term, you can just have it. So with respect to that, if you're just speaking it, then you represent this 0 place with respect to the x to the power of that particular place number. So x to the power of 0 will be the first least significant bit that you are having it. Next bit will be x to the power of 1. What is this x? X is an unknown term. So that is what you need to just take care of it. So similarly, it goes on. So wherever the bit is 1, you make that particular bit, you multiply it with x to the power of the placeholder, 1 with the placeholder. Wherever the bit is 0, 0 multiplied by x to the power of placeholder value. So that will give you the polynomial representation of the given data. So now if you have 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, it will be represented in the polynomial form as x to the power of 6 plus x plus 1. Why all the remaining zeros has been left out? Because 0 multiplied by anything will be 0. So that's why it will be left out with respect to it. This is the binary representation of your data, and this will be nothing but your polynomial representation of the binary data that has been given. So this is very simple, very easy. Now, there may be some particular chances where the polynomial may be given. With respect to the polynomial, you need to just do the CRC encoding and decoding. How it will be done? Very, very important to understand that. How it can be done? How to do that particular task? Very, very important, right? So how to do that? So for that, what they have done is they have just identified several standard polynomials. CRC8. CRC8 means 8 represents the last polynomial bit should be x to the power of 8. That means the last bit should be 1, followed by plus x to the power of 2 plus x plus 1. What will be the value that binary value that you need to choose for CRC8? The binary value. Very, very important to know this because it has been used in so many other applications that we have in the networking concept. Wherever we are having it, they're all just using this. This is polynomial, right? If you want to represent it in the binary data at that particular point of time, so 8th bit will be 1, 7th bit is not there, 0, 6th bit is not there, 0, 5th bit is not there, 0. Similarly, 5th bit, sorry, 8 is over, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, 4th bit is not there, 3rd bit is not there, but 2nd bit is there, 1st bit is there, and the least significant bit, that is 0 bit, is available. So 1 followed by 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 followed by 1, 1, 1. This will be the binary data representation for your CRC8. Similarly, it goes on. Where CRC8 will be used? Normally, we'll be going with CRC8. Where it will be used? It will be used in the application called as ATM header. It is not all-time money. It is asynchronous transfer mode header part. Asynchronous transfer mode means will not wait for any particular member to send the data. So asynchronously, all the data will be received from different ends and it will be just captured over there. It's a parallel way of communication. You can just imagine it. Serial way of communication also you can imagine. That is up to you. So asynchronously, if you are transferring any particular data, that means with respect to not, you are not bound with respect to the time, with respect to whatever the channel that you have. If it is free, you are moving in that particular channel. In a different order, you may receive the data. So it will be just received. For that particular reason, we'll be going with the asynchronous transfer mode. In that particular thing, the header information will be saved. For that, CRC8, that is for detecting whether the ATM header has been properly received or not. For just detecting the errors, we'll be using the CRC8. Similarly, with respect to your CRC10, that means the last bit will be 10, x to the power of 10. So similarly, it goes on. So this polynomial is a standard one. They have already implemented this and they have just checked with respect to the application that they have listed. So it works fine for that particular application. So that's why they're asking you to follow that. So the next one is asynchronous transfer mode itself. With respect to that, AAL is that. We'll just come to know when we are going to deal with respect to your data link layer. What is all these particular things? Next is HDLC. So this is also a link control protocol. So we'll just try to analyze this with respect to your data link layer. This is with respect to your data link layer. Okay, it may be high data link control protocol or code that you are having it. With respect to that, CRC16 is used for as a error detection code. Similarly, CRC32 will be used for all the LANs that you are using it. Local area networks. Local area networks is wherever you are connecting one machine to another machine through a wired network. That is what you call as local area or communication among the systems within the particular network. So for that, you'll be using this particular terminology called as LAN. So under this, if you want to detect that any particular error, detection, I'm not talking about the correction. If you are detecting it, then go with CRC32. That is what they are saying. So, okay, before going to the checksum, so I just want to tell you a small thing. See here, two ways you can just go through your, or you can just apply the CRC encoding and decoding part. One is using the polynomial only, you can directly go with it, or else you can just you can just change that particular polynomial to the binary data, and then you can just go apply the encoding and decoding part. So with respect to a polynomial, how to do it, you know that better than me. So don't worry. If possible, I'll just post a video, or tomorrow I'll be taking a special class in the afternoon. I'll just try to work out one particular problem related to your polynomial. Normally, you'll be given the binary data. With respect to the binary data, they will be asking you to encode along with the divisor also will be given, as well as data word will be given. So you need to just encode it and then decode it and just check out what happens over there. You need to observe and you need to just record the output. If the syndrome is 0, accept it. If the syndrome is anything else apart from 0, you need to reject it. So that is the thing that you'll be just taking care. Similar to that, your particular thing also works here. Okay, so just keep a. I have just given an idea how to represent this polynomial into the binary bit, and after representing to the binary bit, same particular procedure will be followed for doing the task. The next part is very, very important. What are the advantages of your asking means? I have already listed the advantages of your cyclic codes. Cyclic codes will be used, best used, that too with respect to your CRC, it is best used with respect to identifying the 1-bit error, 2-bit error followed by odd number of bit errors that is available. Apart from 2, rest of it, it is odd number of bits. If it is that means it is easy for detecting it. Only for detection it is used. That is a major drawback. And one more thing, after detection, no correction. So you need to ask the sender to resend the particular data word once again or code word once again. So it takes a lot of time. So that is a more major disadvantage of your CRC or cyclic codes. Now we'll come back to your checksum. This is the last error detection method that we are seeing it along according to our particular syllabus, as well as the methods that we have with respect to error detection and correction methods. So in this, you need to have some particular idea about one's complement followed by internet checksum. Don't worry much about your internet checksum. So don't worry about it. So what will be worrying, what will be just need to take care is the prerequisite is one's complement. You need to know it. What is this one's complement is all about? What is this one's complement is all about? So I'll not touch that particular one's complement here anywhere. So since you have just studied that with respect to your previous semesters, I'll just go through the rest of it. So if, okay, one example has been given, I think so. Yes, one's complement has been given. See, how can we represent the number 21 in one's complement arithmetic using only 4 bits? So I'll quickly run this because see, with respect to your 21, if you want to represent means, it will be needing the 5-bit length. So instead of 5-bit, if you wrap it to the 4-bit, that is after adding or wrapping the last most significant bit to the first one, you'll be getting the answer. That is nothing but your one's complement. That's what they are saying. So keeping that in our head, we'll just quickly move on to our particular example. See here, we have a data that has been sent. So the data is represented in the decimal format, not in the binary. If you want, you can just represent it in the binary also. There is no problem at all. So here in the checksum, it will be always dealing with respect to your 16-bit word. It is not dealing with respect to your 8-bit. So the block will be containing 16-bit. 16-bit in that, whatever the value that has been given, I'll be recording it. So that particular bit, 16-bit word, I'll take it, I'll just cut the pieces and I'll just arrange it. So all those particular blocks, whatever I have just done it, I'll just add it along with one more particular value, I'll just add it. That value will be nothing but your checksum. That is what they will be just adding it. What is that? It's a sequence. Along with the sequence, whatever we had, 7, 11, 12, 0, 6 is our actual data that we are adding it. Along with that, one more particular data we are adding it. According to your CRC, we are adding the 0, 0, 0 as the augmented code, right? The similar fashion for this, 0 is added at the beginning. This is a sum that we are just getting. After that, we'll add all the particular bits, whatever the value, decimal value that you are having it, every value will be just adding it and we'll just take it. See, with respect to this, whatever the value that it comes, you just represent it with respect to your binary notation. So 36 is represented as 0010 followed by 0100, no, 0010 followed by 0100. So 4 bits, it will be just representing it. So with respect to this 4 bits, whatever you are representing it, so here you need to wrap this particular total sum that you have got for 4 bits. How to represent that? So take the last most significant, 2 most significant bit, you just take it and you just try to perform the arithmetic modulo 2 operation with respect to the remaining data bits that is available. So if you just add it, then it will be 0110. It will be represented as 6. That is what it will be just taking care. So with respect to this value, this will be nothing but your wrapped sum. So you are wrapping it to 4-bit now. From the 6-bit, you are wrapping it to 4-bit. So that is what it will be saying. Now your checksum is not this particular value. Checksum is whatever the wrap sum that you are having it, just identify and just represent it in the binary representation. After doing the wrap around, the ones complement, what it will be doing is it will be taking the complement of it. Once is nothing but you are wrapping it. After that, you need to complement it. So 0 is that, 1 should be represented. 1 is that, 0 should be represented. Here also 1 is that, 0 should be represented. Here 0 is that, 1 should be represented. Like that, you need to just wrap around as well as complementing that particular word. This complementation is nothing but your checksum. You just, along with your data, now your checksum value from 0, it has been represented as 9. So just change that particular value and send it to the receiver end. Same procedure at the receiver end, along with the checksum, you add it, wrap the sum to your 4-bit length. So once it is wrapped, then the next value is take the complement of it. If the complement value becomes 0, 0, 0, that is checksum is 0, then everything is perfect. Otherwise, there is some problem. This is the procedure that we'll be following with respect to your checksum representation. So that's the end of your third module. So there are a lot of problems that we can solve it. If I'll be just posting few problems related to the topics that we have discussed yesterday. That means 3 days. From 3 days we have discussed so many problems, right? So all those problems I'll just try to list it out. So you just try to solve those particular problems. If any problem is that, you can just come to me anytime. Okay. So with this, I'll stop here.